This is Philae Temple here in Aswan. It's very impressive, as you can see. I had to get here by motorboat, and I'm pretty much done here, but I can't leave because my boatman seems to have vanished. Which is okay, because I took the precaution of not paying him until we get back to the other side. So I'll give him a few more minutes to turn up, and then I'll pay somebody else to take me back across. Well, if there's one thing Egypt does really well, it's tombs and temples. And this temple, like all the others, is just covered in these hieroglyphs. Like, they're just everywhere. There's not an inch of the walls that doesn't have some hieroglyph carved into it, you know, all inside wherever you go. And you can see it's obviously a language because it's the same patterns repeat over and over again in places. It's really interesting. I have no idea what they say, but really cool that how, you know, it's just engraved all over everywhere. Well, here we are, another temple, but what makes this one so special? Well, I'm the only one here. This is my own private Egyptian temple. There is nobody else here at all. I'll explain a bit later how I came across this place, but this is so cool. It's completely quiet, there is not a soul, and I've just got all this to myself, which is amazing. Temples, temples, temples. It's fair to say I am all templed out for today. I've seen some amazing things. I've seen temples on an island, temple in a desert, temple in the middle of a city. But fair to say that if you don't like temples, perhaps Egypt isn't the best place to come to, because a lot of it is temples. Anyway, I'm now in Luxor, finally, after spending way longer than I intended to in Aswan, looking at temples. I'm finally here in Luxor, and Luxor is so much more different to the other two cities I've been to. Like, Cairo is virtually a world of its own. Aswan is much more rural, much more green. It's like much more rough and ready, I suppose you'd say, but more chilled out than Cairo, certainly. Luxor is the most western of the three cities I've been to. It's bright lights and glitz and glamour for a lot of it. And the funny thing is, Luxor Temple is actually, every time I make a video that goes off. I'm not getting text constantly, but that just seems to go off every time I make a video. Anyway, Luxor Temple, you remember what I was saying about how it might not be such a bad thing if the pyramids were in the middle of Cairo? Well, Luxor Temple is actually, it's right in the middle of Luxor, like this ancient 2,000-year-old temple is, you know, the cars and everything in the city's actually going around it is in the centre. So that's really cool when you're sort of driving past it, or when you're looking at it from, you know, your balcony or whatever. That's great. It works really well. But I just went across there after dinner to check it out, sort of all lit up at night and everything. And I have to say, it doesn't work so well on the inside, because it's like part of, when you go and see these temples, or for me anyway, the enjoyment comes from imagining what it was like 2,000 years ago, and imagining that you're in this ancient temple. It's quiet, and it's like that one where I was completely by myself earlier. Now that was awesome, because you get this really Tomb Raider-ish feeling of, you know, I'm the only one here. It's like discovering it, you kind of imagine what it would have been like to be the person that discovered it, and just imagine what it was like sort of back then. Now, in Luxor Temple you can't do that, because not only is it absolutely packed, because, I mean, it's great that it's across the road from my hotel. The problem is it's across the road from everybody else's hotel as well. So, you know, it's just full of people. But also you've got the noises of the city and everything. And I don't know if it's anything to do with the fact that it was all lit up in bright lights and stuff, like it is at night. It's the only one of the temples I've actually seen at night. But it just doesn't feel like a 2,000-year-old temple. It feels like something that's been erected as a tourist attraction in the middle of the city. Which is a shame, because as a temple, as temples go, it is really, really impressive. So I stand by what I said, that I think it would be quite cool to have the pyramid in the middle of the city. I just don't think you should necessarily do it with the temple, as in Luxor. But anyway, so tomorrow I'm going to spend the day seeing things in Luxor. I was supposed to do some of that today, but I got a bit too carried away in Aswan. So we'll see what we can see tomorrow. I'll catch you then.